Hello, welcome's channel. Today we will learn about the remarkable journey of Emily O'Brien and her stunning portrayal of Teresa Donovan that earned her a well-deserved nomination for Best Supporting Actress at the prestigious 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards. A year of chaos and brilliance. When the calendar flipped to 2024, nobody could have predicted the explosive trajectory that awaited Teresa Donovan on the streets of Salem. What viewers witnessed throughout those 12 unforgettable months wasn't just another soap opera storyline, it was a masterclass in dramatic performance brought to life by the incredibly talented Emily O'Brien. This wasn't simply about Teresa causing trouble or stirring the pot, this was about a woman who took every ounce of drama, deception, and desperation and transformed it into a roaring inferno that consumed everything in its path. O'Brien's interpretation of the character reached unprecedented heights as she navigated Teresa through a labyrinth of lies, manipulation, seduction, and raw vulnerability that left audiences simultaneously appalled and utterly captivated. The brilliance of O'Brien's work in 2024 lay in her ability to make viewers understand Teresa's motivations even when her actions were utterly indefensible. Every scheming glance, every calculated word, every moment of panic when her carefully constructed house of cards began to wobble, O'Brien delivered it all with an authenticity that made Teresa feel like a real person making catastrophically bad choices rather than just a villain playing a role. She brought layers upon layers to the performance, showing us glimpses of the wounded woman beneath the conniving exterior, the mother who genuinely loved her son even as she made decisions that would inevitably push him away, and the desperate soul who convinced herself that the ends would justify the means. The inheritance scheme that shook Salem. At the heart of 2024's most compelling storyline stood the forged letter that would alter the course of multiple lives forever. This wasn't just any scheme, this was an elaborate deception involving Victor Kiriakis's will, a document that should have been sacred but instead became the centerpiece of Teresa's most audacious con. Working alongside the duplicitous Konstantin Melionis, Teresa orchestrated a plan that would make her new husband Alex Kiriakis believe he was Victor's long-lost son and rightful heir to a fortune that should never have been his. The letter, supposedly penned by Angelica Devereaux, was actually from Fiona Cook, and when that truth finally emerged, the entire carefully constructed narrative came crashing down with devastating consequences. O'Brien's portrayal of Teresa during this extended arc was nothing short of mesmerizing. She captured every nuance of a woman walking a tightrope suspended over an abyss of her own making. Watching Teresa maintain the lie became an exercise in suspense. Viewers could see the strain in O'Brien's performance, the way her character's eyes would dart nervously when questions got too probing, the forced brightness in her voice when she reassured Alex of his supposed heritage, the moments of genuine fear when she realized just how deep she had dug herself. It was like observing someone juggling lit sticks of dynamite while standing on a powder keg, and O'Brien made every second of that high-wire act absolutely riveting. The complexity of maintaining such an elaborate deception while simultaneously trying to build a genuine relationship with Alex showcased O'Brien's range as a performer. There were moments when Teresa's feelings seemed authentic, when the audience could almost believe she had fallen for her mark, and those moments of genuine emotion made the inevitable betrayal even more heartbreaking for everyone involved. O'Brien navigated these contradictions with remarkable skill, creating a character who was simultaneously calculating and vulnerable, ruthless and yearning for connection. The kidnapping plot and its ramifications. As if the inheritance fraud wasn't damning enough, Teresa's involvement in the kidnapping of baby Victoria Horton Cook added another layer of criminality to her already overflowing rap sheet. This wasn't a spontaneous act of desperation, this was premeditated involvement in snatching an innocent child to further Konstantin's twisted agenda. While Victoria was never in genuine danger and the baby emerged from the ordeal physically unharmed, the moral implications of Teresa's participation in such a heinous act were staggering. O'Brien had to convey the internal conflict of a character who was herself a mother, who loved her own son Tate fiercely, yet still participated in tearing another child from her parents' arms. The fallout from these revelations sent Teresa's world into a tailspin from which there could be no recovery. When Fiona Cook appeared at what should have been a joyous double wedding celebration and exposed the truth about Xander Cook being Victor's actual heir, the entire carefully constructed web of lies unraveled with brutal efficiency. Alex's fury was volcanic. He had ignored his own instincts and allowed himself to fall for Teresa's manipulations, and the betrayal cut him to his core. O'Brien matched that intensity with her portrayal of Teresa's rising panic as her schemes exploded in her face, showing us a woman watching her entire existence disintegrate in real time. Prison walls and broken relationships. The ultimate consequence of Teresa's actions came in the form of a lengthy sentence at Statesville Prison, where she would have ample time to contemplate the catastrophic choices that had led her to that cold cell. O'Brien brought tremendous depth to these scenes, portraying a woman forced to confront the wreckage she had created. The loss of her freedom was just the beginning. What truly devastated Teresa was the shattering of her already fragile relationships with the people who mattered most in her life. Her connection with Brady Black, her ex-partner and the father of her son, had always been complicated and tumultuous, but whatever foundation of trust still existed between them crumbled completely under the weight of her deceptions. Brady had started to believe that Teresa had genuinely changed, that the woman he once loved might still exist beneath years of bad decisions and destructive behavior. The betrayal wasn't just about what she had done, it was about the hope she had dangled before him and then crushed. O'Brien's scenes with Eric Martsolf crackled with the energy of two people grappling with the death of possibilities that might have been. Even more heartbreaking was the damage to Teresa's relationship with her son Tate, portrayed with sensitivity by Leo Howard. What kind of example was she setting for her child? How could she preach morality and good choices when her own actions demonstrated such a spectacular failure of character? O'Brien didn't shy away from showing Teresa's anguish over the knowledge that she had failed her son in the most fundamental way a parent can fail, by being someone he couldn't look up to, couldn't respect, couldn't trust. A seasoned performer at her peak. Emily O'Brien's journey to this Emmy nomination didn't begin with Days of Our Lives, it represents the culmination of years of remarkable work across multiple mediums. Born in Bedfordshire, England, O'Brien honed her craft at the prestigious Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London, one of the world's most respected performing arts institutions. That classical training provided a foundation that has served her well throughout a diverse and impressive career. Her work on The Young and the Restless as Jana Hawks Fisher brought her into the spotlight and earned her 3 consecutive Daytime Emmy nominations for Outstanding Younger Actress in a Drama Series in 2008, 2009, and 2011. Those nominations established O'Brien as a talent to watch, someone who could bring complexity and nuance to challenging roles. Her ability to inhabit a character completely, to find the humanity even in flawed individuals, became her trademark. Beyond daytime television, O'Brien has built an impressive resume as a voice artist, lending her talents to numerous video games and animated projects. She voiced Gamora in Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy series, bringing depth and strength to the beloved Marvel character. Her work in Hideo Kojima's critically acclaimed Death Stranding saw her portraying Amelie and young Bridget Strand, roles that demanded emotional range and subtlety. She also contributed her voice to Y'shtola in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, Camille and Samira in League of Legends, and Special Agent Iman Avesta in Batman, The Enemy Within. Perhaps most notably, O'Brien voiced the woman in David Fincher's Love, Death and Robots episode, The Witness, which won a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation. She returned to the series to voice Eve in the episode, Pop Squad, in the show's 2nd season. Her range extends to Wonder Woman in DC Heroes United, demonstrating her versatility in bringing iconic characters to life. The remarkable double duty. What makes O'Brien's situation on Days of Our Lives particularly unique and impressive is her dual role portraying 2 distinct characters on the same show. She joined the cast in 2020 as Gwen Rizek, the complicated daughter of Jack Devereaux, and spent years developing that character through multiple dramatic storylines that showcased her abilities. Then, in October 2023, she made the transition to portraying Teresa Donovan, taking over a role with its own rich history and devoted fan following. The show handled the transition with typical soap opera flair, In a comically theatrical sequence, viewers watched Gwen board a plane leaving Salem just as Teresa's plane touched down, with O'Brien effectively passing the baton from one character to herself. Few actors possess the range and skill to convincingly portray two completely different characters on the same series, but O'Brien made it look effortless. Gwen and Teresa are worlds apart in personality, mannerisms, motivations, and speech patterns, yet O'Brien inhabits each role so completely that they feel like entirely separate individuals. When she returned as Gwen in 2025, O'Brien revealed that the character had evolved significantly during her time away from Salem. Having spent time among the elite, Gwen now possesses knowledge and status that she previously lacked, adding new dimensions to the character. O'Brien spoke enthusiastically about how the new writing team had refined Gwen, giving her fresh storylines and interactions with new characters that kept the role exciting and unpredictable. The ability to toggle between these two roles, each requiring distinct approaches and emotional landscapes, speaks volumes about O'Brien's versatility and professionalism. Recognition long overdue. The 2025 Daytime Emmy nomination for Best Supporting Actress represents O'Brien's fifth Emmy nomination overall and her second consecutive nomination for Days of Our Lives. In 2024, she received a nomination for her portrayal of Gwen Rizek, and now she stands recognized for her completely different work as Teresa Donovan. This back-to-back recognition for two separate characters on the same show is a testament to her exceptional talent and range. The 52nd Daytime Emmy Award ceremony, scheduled for October 17, 2025, in Pasadena, will determine whether O'Brien takes home the trophy. She faces formidable competition in a category stacked with talented performers, including her Days of Our Lives colleague Lindsay Godfrey, as well as outstanding actresses from General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. Regardless of the final outcome, the nomination itself validates what fans and industry insiders have known for years: Emily O'Brien is a powerhouse performer who elevates every project she touches. Why this performance resonates. What made O'Brien's portrayal of Teresa Donovan during the 2024 storyline so Emmy-worthy wasn't just the dramatic intensity or the shocking plot twists, it was the emotional authenticity she brought to every scene. She never played Teresa as a one-dimensional villain twirling a metaphorical mustache. Instead, O'Brien showed us a deeply flawed woman making terrible choices for complicated reasons, someone who convinced herself that securing financial security justified any means necessary, someone who wanted love and acceptance but kept sabotaging her own chances at happiness. The scenes where Teresa's schemes began to unravel were particularly powerful because O'Brien allowed us to see the terror beneath the bravado. This wasn't someone gleefully destroying lives. This was someone increasingly desperate and frightened as she realized the magnitude of what she had done and the impossibility of making it right. Those moments of vulnerability, of genuine regret and fear, transformed Teresa from an antagonist into a fully realized character whose fate actually mattered to viewers. O'Brien also excelled at portraying Teresa's relationships with other characters, bringing different energy and emotional colors to her scenes with Alex, Brady, Tate, and others. With Alex, there was manipulation mixed with genuine attraction. With Brady, there was history and hurt layered beneath every interaction. With Tate, there was maternal love complicated by shame and regret. Each relationship felt distinct and real, which is no small feat in the compressed production schedule of daytime television. The decision to ultimately send Teresa to prison rather than letting her escape consequences gave O'Brien the opportunity to show yet another facet of the character, the woman forced to face what she had become. Whether Teresa's announcement about leaving Salem represented genuine remorse or just another scheme remained ambiguous, and that ambiguity was part of O'Brien's genius. She kept us guessing, kept us engaged, kept us caring about a character who had done unforgivable things. Emily O'Brien's transformation of Teresa Donovan's 2024 storylines into Emmy-caliber television wasn't accidental. It was the result of talent, training, commitment, and an innate understanding of human complexity. She took a character who could have been merely despicable and made her fascinating, complicated, and ultimately unforgettable. Win or lose when the envelope is opened on October 17, O'Brien has already proven herself a champion, delivering the kind of performance that reminds us why daytime drama, at its best, can be genuinely compelling television. Her work throughout 2024 stands as a testament to the power of skilled acting to transform even the most outrageous soap opera plots into emotionally resonant storytelling that stays with viewers long after the credits roll.